Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it off.
What's good, YouTube? How we doing? It is Matt coming back at you with another video from All Sports Galaxy here on YouTube. In this one, we're going to be doing our countdown list for the top 10 second basemen right now, heading into the 2017 MLB season. I probably won't be able to get through all the positions by opening day because I know the first baseball game for MLB is actually a week from today. The Yankees and Rays open it up on ESPN next Sunday. And then most games start next Monday, though, April 3rd, including my Mets. The Mets will be taking on the Atlanta Braves at Citi Field. If you're a Mets fan, you probably know that. I'm getting all excited for opening day. I think everyone's feeling the hype again, and hopefully it starts to warm up soon if you live in a cold state. Spring is here. Hopefully summer will be here before we know it, and we could do more crap outside. If you didn't see the last video, we got outside in that one. Had a great time with our boy Tyler. And you can go check that out. Before we get into this video, I want to give a shout out to one of my deep friends, Nick DiGiacomo. He's a great man. He actually helped me learn how to put these videos together, and I suggest you can go give him a follow on Instagram at Nickinator77. That's his Instagram. Go follow him. He's a supportive guy, takes great photos, you can see there, and he's a cool lad. Go follow him. He also has a YouTube channel, same name, not the same name. His YouTube channel is Nick DiGiacomo. It's his actual name, Nick DiGiacomo. He does vlogging and stuff on there. Go check that out. But otherwise, I'm ready to get into this video. Second base used to be that position in baseball where there just wasn't any talent at all. Well, a lot of guys have had bounce back years, have developed. There's a lot of young kids, and that has changed. This is a very deep list now. So we're going to start with the just miss list. I usually only put 5 players on the just miss list, but I actually have 6 players on this because there were just so many players that were good. And the 7th guy that I didn't put on the just miss list is Brad Miller of the Tampa Bay Rays. I thought he was also a very good candidate. He hit 30 home runs last year. I just couldn't have room to squeeze him on the list. Anyway, just miss list. As you can see on the just miss list here, I got Starlin Castro of the New York Yankees. 270, 21 home runs, 70 RBIs. Those are the stat lines he put up last season. Those weren't bad, but he did play in Yankee Stadium. Obviously, the production is going to be a little higher there. It's a great ballpark to hit at, but he did do well playing through the pressure of New York. Is that his, I believe it was his first season with the Yankees? I believe it was. I'm having a brain fart. It was either his first or second. I believe it was his first season with the Yankees, though, this past season. Another guy on the list you're seeing is Jason Kipnis. He's another great player from the Cleveland Indians, the American League 2016 pennant winners. Obviously, his stat line included a 275 average, 23 home runs, and 82 RBIs. Very solid numbers all the way around. There were just too many other guys that were on the top 10 that he just didn't have room to fit on. There were other guys with better stat production, but I think Kipnis could definitely be back on the chart, or back on the list next season if he has a great year and Indians have another nice year. Coming in third in the list, or not third in the list, but third on my just miss list, I have Jonathan VR of the Milwaukee Brewers. This is a guy I didn't expect to crack on the list, but I looked at his stats and they were solid enough to put on the just miss list. He had a very good 285 batting average, 19 home runs. Didn't expect him to hit for power, but he did have a nice power season. He drove in 63. And on top of that, he steals bases. He's very fast, one of the fastest guys in baseball. I believe he was up there in the league leaders. If he did not lead the National League in stolen bases, he was very close. I don't remember exactly the number he had, but he did have a lot of stolen bases. That's why he's on my just miss list. And then we got okay, Joe Panic. Before you guys hated at me and stuff, I know he had a terrible year last year. 239, 10 home runs, 62 RBIs. He's gonna get his shit back together. He's gonna have a full out healthy year. He's gonna go back to that 2015 rookie form. He's gonna hit over 300. He's gonna play a great defensive second base. The power numbers will go down. He was focusing too much trying to hit the ball at the ballpark last year, I feel. He just needs to go back to getting a smooth contact swing, and I think he'll do great. And another fun fact about me, if you want to know, if you don't want to know, then don't listen. But this is quite an interesting fact. Joe Panic actually grew up in my hometown that I live in. He graduated from the same high school I'm currently going to, so that's really cool. I've met him before. He's stopped in the high school. He's been there before. I've seen him there. It's a pretty cool experience to have, especially when I live in a town in New York, from the middle of nowhere, really. Fishkill. I don't know if you've heard of it. Last time I just missed list will be a guy that I didn't expect to put on here, but I did. Ooh. Actually, this isn't the last guy. This is the second to last guy. It's Ryan Schimpf, San Diego Padres. You guys probably have no idea who that is, but you're going to listen. He only hit 217, I know. But he hit 20 home runs, all right? 20 home runs and 51 RBIs. I'm like, he's not going to make it. Then I looked at how many games he played. This dude only played in 89 games, and he hit 20 home runs. That's pretty crazy when you're playing San Diego for the worst team and you come out of nowhere and no one's ever heard of you. That's pretty dope. That's why he's on the list. And my last guy on the just missed list, Logan Forsythe, just got traded to the Dodgers. He's going to help the Dodgers in the middle of that lineup grow even better. He hit 264 last year with 20 home runs, 52 RBIs. He'll be great. Like I said, the top of that lineup or in the middle of that lineup. He'll probably be the everyday guy over Chase Utley. And without further ado, into the list. Let's see. Coming in at number 10. Very excited to say this is the first New York Met on one of my lists. It is Neil Walker of the New York Mets coming in at number 10. Why Walker, you ask? Because Neil Walker hit 282 last season. He tied his career high with 23 home runs, and he drove him 55. And his numbers would have been even better if his season wasn't ended early to a back injury. He only played like 100 and something games. I think he played like 106 or 109 games, somewhere around there. And if he played in the full like 150 games, he would have hit closer to 30 home runs. To do that in New York, if you can't do it in Pittsburgh and you can do it in New York, that's pretty good. That's like really good. That means you like the atmosphere. You're a good player there. The Mets obviously have him for another year. He'll be healthy. I think the Mets, they're going to have a great team. And I think he'll be a big part of why. And that's why he made my list at number 10. So, you saw Walker at 10. Coming at number 9. Yankee hated feller. A Yankee hated feller, that's what I'm going to call him. Yankees hate this guy because he plays for the Red Sox. He has a great career. Potential future Hall of Famer, Dustin Pedroia, the Boston Red Sox. Pedroia had a big bounce back year last year as a veteran. He's getting up there in age. He still plays great defense. That's why they call him Laser Show. He hit 318. Had 15 home runs, 74 RBIs, very respectable numbers. Power numbers, he's never been that big of a power hitter. So 15 home runs is very good. A batting average about 300, that's great. He'll be atop that Red Sox order. A very dangerous guy to watch out for in the American League this year, with a lot of young guys like Betts and Bogarts and Bradley Jr. in the middle of that order. It's going to be a really nasty Boston team to watch, especially with the pitching, and I think he'll be a big part of that. Number 8, this is a guy that's very underrated. He plays for the Baltimore Orioles. He's expected to be the opening day second baseman. Don't know if you've heard of him. His name is Jonathan Schoop. I hope I said that right. If I butchered the last name, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Jonathan Schoop. Last year, Schoop hit 267, very respectable to me. 25 home runs, 82 RBIs. That stat line at Camden Yards, that the fans like him a lot. That's a very respectable stat line. It was enough to get him on the list, and that's why he made my list at number 8. And I think he could even be higher if he continues to play the way he did. He's a big guy, it's for power, and he gets on base a lot. And he can play defense too at second base. He can also play shortstop too. He's very versatile, so we'll see how Schoop makes out in 2017 with Baltimore, if Baltimore plans on being a contender or not. Number 7, speaking of teams trying to be contenders, this team went all in, had a great offseason. Don't know if they're quite to contention yet, but I got the 2016 NL batting average champion, DJ LeMahieu, the Colorado Rockies, in there at number 7. I had to throw him on, right? This guy hit 348. I know people saying he's a bum. They sat him out to get the last game so he could win the batting title. He didn't play it out, people, but still 348. Give me a break. That's ridiculous. And his power numbers went up. I know 11 home runs isn't very powerful, but he used to only hit like 2 or 3 home runs a year. He hit 11 home runs and he drove in 66. I know he plays in Coors Fields, but still, when you bat 348, that's ridiculous. Go have yourself a day. DJ LeMahieu had a great year. I don't know if he'll be as good this coming year. I think he's the number one candidate to drop off my list, unfortunately. I still think he'll be a very solid player. I just don't think he'll be this guy that's going to hit 330 every year or 340, whatever you want to say. In the top 6, coming in at number 6, another guy who had a breakout year power-wise of the Minnesota Twins. I've always loved this guy, Brian Dozier. As of right now, he's in the middle of playing for the Twins, a team that has no intention to contend. They just don't have it right now. They do have a few kids coming up, like we see Cano. He's a great guy. Byron Buxton, he's going to be a great player one day. Dozier's just that guy in the middle of the pack that's waiting for. He's just waiting. He's going to put on good numbers. He's waiting to get out of Minnesota. I don't think he really wants to stay there, unless they become good and he signs an extension. But I expect him to be out as soon as possible, whether it be from trade or free agent signing when he reaches that free agent market in a couple of years. But I think if he's having another productive year and the Twins are nowhere near his contention, I think he could be a nice trade candidate for a team that's looking for a second baseman. I don't know where he'd fit in great, but I think he could find a new home by the end of this year. He obviously hit 42 home runs last year. If you look at those stats, those are very, very good stats. 268, 99 RBIs is very good. I don't think he'll hit 42 home runs again. I do think he'll be very productive. All right, and in the top 5, coming at number 5, another potential future Hall of Famer of the Detroit Tigers, former Texas Ranger Ian Kinsler. Kinsler, his career was kind of on the decline, but last year he brought the value of his career right back up. He hit 288 with 28 home runs and drove in 83 runs. Very good stat lines. He's going to help Detroit. Obviously, the Indians are a very good team in that Central, so I don't know if Detroit will be able to quite catch the Indians. I don't think they will. But let's say the Indians go down with a bunch of injuries and Detroit's able to pounce up. I think Ian Kinsler, he's a great guy atop that order that hits for power, gets on base, plays a good defense. Mixed in there with Justin Upton, J.D. Martinez, Miggy, Nick Castellanos. It's going to be really fun. Victor Martinez, that Tigers team, I think, has a very powerful lineup. He's a big reason why. All right, coming in at number 4, another surprising guy in this list. He just had a really good year. Had to put him this high. I felt he deserved it. Of the Texas Rangers, although he's a scumbag for punching Bautista, I got Rug Ned Odor. I'm not biased, just because I don't like him for punching Bautista doesn't mean he's not a good player. He deserves to be number 4 on this list, in my opinion. He hit 271, 33 home runs, 88 RBIs. Very good. I believe he just got extended. I don't remember how long. I think it said a 6-year deal they were working on. I think he's going to get an extension from Texas, from what I hear. That's what I heard yesterday. This guy's just going to get better as he gets older. I shouldn't say that. He's going to get better as he gets older. Then when he gets real older, like mid-30s, then he'll start to decline. But right now, he's going to get better as he gets older until he's still in his 20s. So he's still a young guy. That's what I'm trying to say. He has a nice little beard at the end of his chin. But he's a feisty little guy. He reminds me of like a Mexican boxer. I don't know. He's small, but he's feisty. Watch out for him. All right, number 3, one of my favorites. Because he used to be on the Mets. He had a huge year. In my opinion, he should have won the NL MVP last year, but he didn't. Daniel Murphy of the Washington Nationals. Obviously, he changed his swing last year. He changed his swing at the end of 2015 with the Mets. Kevin Long helped him do that. He became a stud. You saw what he did for in the playoffs for the Mets that year, that the Mets made the run to the World Series. He was great. And everyone thought it was a fluke. Then he signed a 3-year deal at Washington. And throughout the whole 2016 season, he haunted the Mets for not re-signing him. He played a great, great game. 347 average. Very good. 1 point below LeMahieu for the league leader. 25 home runs. The power numbers were there, and he drove in over 100, 104. He was the big bat of the Washington Nationals. He stepped up when Bryce Harper stepped down last year. He was a big way. Imagine how good the Nationals could be with Harper and Murphy both healthy, playing 100%. That would be scary, especially for me to think as a Mets fan. The Mets do have good pitching. It's going to be a great battle in the East. It's going to come down between the Nationals and the Mets. A theory I'm going to give on the East. I don't want to get sidetracked, but I think the Atlanta Braves are going to decide the NL East. Not because they're going to win it. I think whoever can beat the Braves more between the Nationals and the Mets is going to win that division. Because the Braves are a lot better than last year, and we're going to see if that is what happens. All right, we're into the top 2 now. I had a hard time placing this guy. I wanted to put him at 1. He ended up here at 2, though. He, in my opinion, is definitely a future Hall of Famer. Former Yankee Robinson Cano. He's on the Mariners now. He had another great year. 298 average, 39 home runs, and 103 RBIs. Great numbers. Everyone thought the production was going to go down when he went to Seattle. They went up. He never hit like 39 home runs with the Yankees. He hit like 26, right? I mean, this guy, he's great. He has a 307 career average, close to 300 home runs. He'll probably reach that plateau this year. And over 1,000 RBIs. Very good. And now we're going to move into number 1 on the list. Not a shocker. You guys probably guessed it already. He was an MVP candidate as well for the American League. He did not win it, though. He came in 3rd. Jose Altuve of the Houston Astros. Not a shocker, like I said. Altuve, all-around player, defensive, speed, power, contact, everything you ask in a ball player. He's got it. He has the similar tools to Mike Trout, obviously not as good. But Altuve is just such a good player, clutch player, 338 average last season, 24 home runs. He found his power stroke, 96 RBIs. Don't underestimate him by his height. He is a great ball player, and that's why he's number 1 on this list. All right, coming out soon in a couple days, guys. It's going to be the top 10 third baseman right now. We'll see. That's I know first base. The first base list is very deep. This one is very similar. It's a very deep list, the third base list. There's a lot of guys that are good. Arenado, Donaldson, Machado, all those guys. And there's other guys there, too, that I'm not thinking of right now that are just so good. Obviously, Maikel Franco's another one that comes to mind. A lot of good third basemen, period, in the league. So, if you want to see that, that'll be out in a couple days. Go check it out. Check out our last video. Like I said, we got outside. We did some hockey. It was great. We sled. We snowboard. The snow finally melted. We're going to be doing some nice baseball outside. We're going to be vlogging with some friends. And maybe next weekend, get a wiffle ball game out for you guys. Some basketball, everything you can ask. You guys can request videos to my Instagram. Follow us at all.sports.galaxy. Just DM us. Request what you want to see in the next video. We'll get it for you. We take requests. We're like that. So please leave a like. Smash the like button. Subscribe. We really appreciate it. And I'll be dropping new videos. This is Matt. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, boys.